Hello, welcome to another episode of the Deck Durdle. We're actually up to episode 10 now. So we've moved on, and the next build, the next sealed pool build, is going to come from 6 packs of Stronghold, which is part of the Tempest block. This was a small set, so it's going to be a bit unusual doing 6 packs from there. And if you want an explanation as to the order in which I go through the different sets and how many packs I do and what combinations I do, then that's in the earlier videos where I explain that. So I'm going to dive straight in. You can see here I've already got my 6 boosters generated. I've already brought those across to Architect as well. But first, before we take a look at the packs we've pulled, let's have a look at the set in Mtg Wiki. So themes and mechanics: Encore, Flowstones, Lucids, Slivers and Spikes. So several of those are obviously coming across from the main set, the set Tempest, and things like Shadow and Buyback as well. So it'd be interesting to see how these sets interact with one another, Stronghold and Tempest, when I get round to actually doing that particular pull for one of my sealed builds. But at the moment we're just going to stick with 6 of Stronghold. So Cycle of Lucids, Cycle of Walls. There were some allied coloured slivers in here. Legendary Lands, which was part of a mega cycle, and then we had 4 theme decks, 3 of which were 2 colour and 1 which was a mono black deck. I seem to remember that migraine deck being pretty powerful for a theme deck. I may have even unboxed one of these at one point, an actual physical deck. Actually, I've just thought that would be an interesting set of videos, is going back looking at old theme decks, but virtually. So maybe that's another idea to put out there. Okay, so let's look at the packs. So I've ordered these by rarity. So we got Revenant in the first pack. So you got the pre-release marker on it, which is interesting. Verdant Touch. Soltari Champion. Rolling Stones. Pretty sure that's right in terms of rarity. Got a Mind Warper. Another Soltari Champion. So because this is a small set, what we're probably going to see is quite a lot of repeats, particularly at commons. If you look at the set breakdown, just quickly flipping back here, so there's 143 cards in the set, 55 commons, 44 uncommons, 44 rares. So you do tend to find that when you open, say, 6 packs of a small set, obviously statistically you're going to get a lot more repeats at common than you would if you said open 6 packs of the large set. There's quite a few cards here where you've got some form of graveyard interaction going on. And as I've mentioned, I think in previous videos, over the course of these we'll probably see a move towards strong red cards. They were starting to come in sets, and so I'm not surprised we won't see some fairly popular red cards, sort of eternal cards. So I've already brought this into Architect, and we're off at the races. So let's have a look. We don't have any non-basic lands for fixing here. There wasn't any. There were any in the set. They were all in the main set. Right, let's look at the artifacts first. Interesting. So we've got a pinger with an extra condition. So Bullwhip's 4, 2 tap. Bullwhip deals 1 damage to target creature. That creature attacks this turn if able. So that's very flavourful. Heartstone. The cost of each creature ability requiring an activation cost is reduced by 1. This cannot reduce an ability's generic mana cost to less than 1. Okay, so I'm going to hold on to those for the moment. I always tend to go through the creatures last because I'm pretty interested in removal. Not so many enchantments in this pool as we've seen in pools so far. So let's have a look. Tortured Existence. Choose and discard a creature card. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Interesting. We've got 3 of those. Murgrim. Whenever an opponent discards a card, Migrim deals 2 damage to him or her. Overgrowth. Whenever enchanted land is tapped for mana, it produces an additional 2 green. We've got 3 of those. Flowstone Blade. Enchanted creature gets +1, -1 until end of turn. And Rolling Stones. Walls can attack as though they were not walls. Okay. Let's go on to the sorceries. We've got Labrats with buyback 4. Put a rat token into play. Treat this token as a 1/1 black creature. So we can buy that back for 4 when we cast it. Goes back into our hand. Deathstroke. Destroy target tap creature. Okay. Cannibalize. Choose 2 target creatures controlled by any one player. Remove one of those creatures from the game and put 2 +1/+1 counters on the other. Brush with Death. Buy back 2 and a 2 black. Target opponent loses 2 life. You gain 2 life. Tidal Surge. Tap up to 3 target creatures without flying. Sift. Draw 3 cards and choose and discard a card. Verdant Touch. Buy back 3. Target land becomes a 2/2 creature permanent. Mulch. Reveal the top 4 cards of your library to all players. Put any of those cards that are lands into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. And then we've got Seething Anger with buyback. Buyback 3. Return creature. Target creature gets +3/+0 until end of turn. Instance. So a lot of buyback here. Mind Game, single blue, tap target artifact, creature or land. Mana Leaks in the set. Provoke. Untap target creature you do not control. This creature blocks this turn if able. So that's like a pseudo removal in green. Crossbow Ambush. All creatures you control can block creatures with flying until end of turn. Shock. Got 2 shocks in here. 2 flings. And a bandage. So I'm already feeling some draw towards green. Oh yeah, okay. So green, I'm going to play green definitely. and play some spikes. So what does our red look like? And our black. 3-3 for 3. I lose 3 life. Orc throw. 2 in a black. For 3, 2 for 3. Sacrifice. Put top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard. Okay. Yeah. So we got graveyard. Oh my! 5 foul imps. Oh, so many choices. Just looking down the blues, see whether we've got any flying. Looking for blue-white flyers, really. Okay, so there's lots of stuff we could do here. I might just try multiple different decks. I just got to decide what I want to start with first. Okay, well let's... My first instinct is just look at green-red, and then we'll do a green-blue. Sorry, a green-black. As green looks pretty strong. Yeah, let's do that. I haven't read through all the cards because I'm already feeling drawn towards certain combinations. I'm just going to start building and see where we end up. The nice thing is here we've got lots of multiples of stronger cards. I am mindful though, in playing black, there's a lot of stuff here that really hits our it hits our life if we do. So yeah, that could be a bit of a problem. And we will have a look at the slivers. I think again the problem we're going to have is we don't really have any mana, any fixing apart from in green, which does make playing like a 5-colour slivers deck. We've got a lot of 2-colour slivers. I think what's going to happen is this is going to get more interesting once I move on to the pools where we've got two each of the sets. That's a 2/2 for 2, so it's playable just in that form. If any sliver is blocked, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each creature blocking it. So I'm going to play that in red-green, even though there's probably no other sliver here that I can play it with. I'm just looking over here. I mean, I'm tempted by mono black as well at some point. Splashing blue maybe, or black, yeah, black splashing blue. 38. Okay. Take that out. Yeah, that would be really well with a lot of these spikes. So is there anything that doesn't really belong here? I think once I get this on a curve, I can start sort of removing this, or removing some of these. Yeah, this is where you got to be careful with this creature here. Once we get it on a curve, we'll see how that pans out. Question how many overgrowths I want to play as well. Right, let me just save that. Ooh. Is that even playable? Yeah, I don't know. I suppose it doesn't really matter. Well, it doesn't matter that it's playable, but I mean, that's a sort of good end game thing, maybe. So, yeah, late game card. Question whether I want to be sacrificing creatures using fling. Although if we've see what else removals like. This deck's looking good. Just got to get rid of some stuff. 37, and we definitely need. We only need what, 25, 23 cards. So lots to think about. Right, let's press on here. Okay, so let's look at our one drops. Yep, oops, we'll take that out. Two flings. Let's play one. One more justice. So we've got two Mog Flunkies. Cannot attack or block during a turn in which no other creatures you control attacks or blocks. Provoke 2 spine slivers and a 0/4 with card draw. Two for 3. Yeah, I really want to play that. That's cool. That's I can invest unlimited red into that. So it is a 1/1 for 3. I'm affected by summoning sickness. Right, the question is how much overgrowth do I want to play? Just start off with 1. Spike feeder. So that's a 2/2 for 3. And we can mess about with the counters, same here. Then becomes a creature enchantment that reads all creatures able to block enchanted creature do so. Mob bombers. If any other creature comes into play, sacrifice mob bombers and deals 3 damage to target player. Okay, how are we doing? 29. I'm not sure about that flame wave. Okay, so 28. 5 more cuts. Wow. Do I just go down the spike feeder route or the spike route at the expense of everything else? Decisions, eh? Take one of these out, I think. I don't know how wise it is to play multiple Mog flunkies. Let's look back here on so 16 creatures. That's good. Well, that's fine, should I say? Okay. I don't really want to drop down anymore, so let's look, see what we can do here. Take out a fling. I'm going to sideboard that. Oops. Would like to keep the 2 shocks in there if I can. It's nice to have a pump spell. Okay. So, yeah, that looks not too bad. It's an interesting deck. We've certainly built a spike deck. The curve doesn't look too bad either. This I'm a bit concerned about. Whether it's playable, although we'll see. We should be okay though. Late game. Right, let's just look at the stats. Yeah, lucky I took that card with so much red out, actually. That would have not been good. Okay, 19 to 9. So we got 17 lands. So let us do this. After last week's issues with where I'd sort of put the land to one side first of all, seemed to be causing problems. I'm not going to do it this time around. So we'll do it how I did it before. I'm add it at this point. Not forest. Not mountain. And again with this, there isn't, if I was to go in here and type in Stronghold, there is no Stronghold. Obviously the land is always the, from the large set. It's a pretty classic land here. Oh, no, that's the remastered one. Yeah, that one. That one. I'm pissed. Nice and spiky in a spiky deck. Oh, yeah. Oh, even spikier. There we go. That's all we want. So, what do we reckon here? 11 to 6, maybe. Actually, that would work. So we don't have any double. We don't have any double red. So let's play it. Okay. Looks interesting. Let us play test. Okay, so what do we got? Turn 5. We got 2 forests and a mountain, so we're good for land. If we've actually got anything playable, we've got a provoke on turn 2, but nothing we can really use it with. Well, actually, there's turn 2 Mog Flunkies. Could go down turn 3, but we can't. Yeah, it's got to be something that's played with. That's the only problem with those. Another mountain, overgrowth, got a spine sliver. So this isn't going to be a particularly fast deck unless we get a really good draw. Let me just make sure you can see that better. Okay. Spined worm, spike colony, warm blossoms turn 2, mog bombers turn 4. Okay. Forest, heartstone, which will help with our spike abilities. Yeah, so one thing I noticed about this, it is going to be a slowish deck. Spine worm, mountain forest, overgrowth, mob justice. Yeah, I think most of our support cards are in the lower mana, and most of our creatures are at high mana. So yeah, and there's not much like low mana stuff that we can use to gum up the works, which is what happens when you're say playing blue white flyers. Often you've got larger higher mana creatures that you've got to pay out, but you've always got like either small like white weenie type creatures or some sort of bounce spell or something that sort of gums the board up until you can get those larger flyers out. With this deck, it's going to be a while before you can get the whole spike shenanigans going on. And of course the business with this playing a spike deck is you're moving counters around at instant speed. So it makes combat really tricky. Now unfortunately there's no cards here that can just out and out add counters in this deck. They can move them, and as I've said, we do have the that artifact which can play around with activation costs, so that helps a little bit. But yeah, it looks like it could be fun to play, but a little slow. So I'm going to take a look at that sort of start off with a mono black build and then put in some support cards. So let us do that. Leave that in. I'm going to leave these here for the moment. Actually, no, let me sideboard those. And then let's just take everything out. I mean, I might end up going. So the way I'm going to see if I can go with this deck is the next build is pull in all the black cards, take out all the stuff I don't want to play, and then add in a second colour. And I'm going to try different colours. I'm definitely going to try some red removal, and maybe might have to put in some creatures. The only way this deck will work, judging by the cards, if you've sort of made a mental note of what's in here, is if it's fast, because most of the cards are going to mess with your life total. So yeah, that's obviously going to be an issue. I have played decks like this before. They're tricky because most of the time you end up killing yourself. Particularly if your opponent's got some real strategic removal. But we'll see. I'm trying to remember the cards that I saw, and I know some cards, there's some forms of black that do this, that deplete your life, will do it consistently each turn. Some will do it when you do something else. So if you don't do that something else, you're good. So and again, depending on what your opponent's got, to sort of maybe stop the things you want to do, so that eventually you just end up killing yourself through the the life depletion. Right. So tortured existence. Is our enchantment. There it is. So what I'm going to do is just make sure I've got areas where I can put these cards. So that's a creature, and then I should hopefully be able to then drag these across until I get to something that I don't have a column for. Oh yeah, we've got to play this. I don't know if there's a listed deck in here. I'm trying to get my head around this. So all the abilities for the listids are single on colour, mana. Cannot be blocked by artifact creatures and black creatures instead of a creature. Onto target creature. Yeah, I'm not sure about this. Okay, Deathstroke, cool. That is at sorcery speed though. So 2/2 for 3. I suppose we could play it if we're desperate and just not worry about the ability. Where are we now? 21. Oh wow, we could do. That's funny. Okay, so use and discard a creature card. Draw a dog from your over to your hand. Okay, this looks like fun. So what do we want to play? Let's look at blue. Let's just go down in order. Look at blue first. Got 11 creatures. Loads of sorceries. How much tortured existence do I actually want? Okay, let's add some stuff in and see what we do. Unblockable. So we've got unblockable blue creature. 2 more creatures. Okay. Blue looks pretty interesting. Saying that. What's that cloud spirit? What's that? Flying. I made a shark. Oh, I do need to play that. Oh, do I really want to do this? Choose and discard a creature card. Turn a creature card from grave to your hand. So I'm just looking down here, just planning ahead. I'm just seeing if there's, as I got black already here, I'm just seeing for the next step whether there would be a black-red build. The trouble is you get drawn towards wanting to splash shocks, you see. Okay. There we go. So okay, we're good. We got, that's all single blue. Okay. So black splashing. Well, with a larger splash of blue. Right. Let us find. I'm interested to see what the swamps look like. I'm trying to remember from last week. I'm sure we had a look at some. I do find this very enjoyable. It's really relaxing doing this actually video, but I don't know how. Yeah, it's difficult to know what people find appealing about this video or these videos. So let me know. I feel that there's sometimes I'm so enthralled by the cards that I just stop talking for a while, and maybe that's a good thing. Oh yeah, I like that. So what should we do? How far do we want to push this? Yeah, okay, well we'll see what that looks like when we start doing draws. Actually, do we have anything? I'm just seeing how this is going to help. It does help with our buyback. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that could go in there. Would we want to play one Tortured Existence instead of that? Just trying to work out what gives us more utility. If we play this, we've got 2 buyback cards. If we play this, we can get back anything that's in our graveyard creature-wise, of which we have 16 creatures that potentially could go in there. I'm tempted to do that as a one-off. It's always tricky with those sort of artifact utility cards, I find. Okay, so 3-drop. We've got Swamp, Mountain, Swamp. So we're good. Well, this is good. So we've got our single mountain that we need to cast any of our blue cards. And we have 2 swamps. And the most amount of black mana we have on any card is 2. So that's a good opening hand. In terms of actual creatures, so we got File Amp that we can definitely play on turn 2. Serpent Warrior is playable on turn 3, even if we got no more land. Cannibalize. Okay, it's a really interesting card, Cannibalize. Swamp, Island, Swamp, Tortured Existence. Okay, so... Uh-oh, has this gone wrong again? Remember we had this problem before where our land went a bit screwy. Let me just check. No. Curious. Okay, let's go back in. That's weird. Have I genuinely made a mistake there? No, 17 land. Strange. Okay, that's variance for you. This obviously this hand sort of drawer is truly random because we're getting real weird stuff, so that's always a good sign that, yep, randomness at play. Okay, sorry. Mana Leak, Megrim. See, yeah. We've got nothing that makes our opponent discard a card. That's the only thing. Thinking of that, I don't think. So yeah, this deck would definitely need to be tweaked a little bit. Let's just have a look. This is what happens when you get drawn into playing certain colours. You lose track of... Let me just see what's going on here. I thought I had something that made an opponent... Oh, okay. Oh no. Oh, yeah, no, we're good. We do have an interaction going on. Yeah, okay, so we got Mind Water Megrim interaction. So yeah, I mean, statistically, it's a bit problematic. Yeah, okay. Yeah, see, we're having a problem with our Dungeon Shade here. We're just not drawing enough swamps. So another one of these, the deck looks real interesting, but we could run into a lot of trouble. And we're definitely getting our... The nice thing is we're getting our... You know, our first hand, we're getting our land drops, definitely. In the right proportions, which is cool. But our hand, as we progress, seems to be getting bunged up with... That's a better... Yeah, that's better. Not convinced though. Anyway, so that's another one. That was that sort of blue... sorry, black with a large splash of blue. I think we're going to have a similar problem if we just take out this and then splash red. And I may just take a look at this and not actually, you know, do so. What do we want in here? We want the shocks. We'll lose this for the moment, so I don't have to do any mental gymnastics. 22. Oh, God. creatures are bad. I mean, the problem here is this is not splashable, really. Well, in an aggressive deck, which this is going to have to be, they're fine. Let me lose. Oh, hang on. Me. Yeah, I'm a bit stuck here. Getting playables. Oh, bullwhip it is. Oops. Let's just look, see what the curve's going to look like at the very least. I'm not going to do a play test on this one because it's got mostly black in it, and then the red's just there. Admittedly, we've got well, yeah, probably the same amount of creatures that came across in the blue deck as well. I don't know if we got any particularly strong finishes. That's the only thing. And I don't know if this is fast enough. And again, this is another problem when you do builds which weren't really intended to be built, if that makes sense. So we're building, doing 6 packs from a small set, and what the danger of happening there is you can end up like pulling, as we've seen, 5 of a particular common, and so that can sort of bias the deck in certain ways. So the other thing I did want to take a look at is black green, definitely, but not splashing green. Just bring the green in and then see whether what we can do. Oops. Let me just open up an instant slot quickly. Okay, so save that, order this by colour, there we go. Oh yeah, I didn't think about this. So if this is... Again, this might be just too slow. There was a hibernation sliver. I'd forgotten about that. Oh, verdant touch. It's always interesting. Okay. Right. Yeah, I think we're going to need to cut some cards here. Right. Okay, I'm going to cut the creatures first. So, Mind Warper. If I cut back a bit on the foul imps and take that out, and lose one of those. Right. Gonna remove a Deathstroke. Sideboard that. Let's take out the Cannibalize. I don't know if I need that. Okay. Let's see what this looks like. It's a bit more even. So now, just drag these in. Oops. What do I do? Hang on. Custom, yep, that's good. Forests. Into the deck with you. So what do we want? Swamp. Boom. So look, see whether. So both have cards where there's double, but it's more going to be the green. We are going to end up with more green. Let me just look at the stats again. And we'll go with that for the moment. Okay. Play test. Boom. So foul imp is a 2-drop. Swamp, swamp, 2 foul imps, a mulch, spike feeder turn 3, and a spike colony turn 5. Dungeon shade, lowland basilisk, no more land yet though, so we're a bit, yeah, that would be a problem. Forest. Okay, this is slightly better from land perspective, but again, it's a bit slow. Spike feeder, swamp, forest, basilisk, mind warper, spike, forest. I mean, red-green looks really interesting, but again, we've got this problem with it being rather slow. And I think that's just a part of me being either dependent on the spikes or a lot of the black creatures are sort of turn 3, I suppose. When there's that imp's turn 2, I suppose. Okay, anything else we want to try? Let's have a look. I don't know if white blue is even a thing. We don't have enough slivers to do anything. Like I said, this is going to be more interesting from a slivers perspective once we start mixing sets together in some of the later builds. I think I might just stop it here. Is there any way? Let me just put this back in color order, and I'm just going to look quickly through what is. So we've got Youthful Knight, Venerable Monk, Spirit Encore. You know, what do you think? Would they work better in a green or what's that? I mean, would that help us? Maybe. It's possible. Oh, what the heck. don't know if I want that. Is it here or not? Bondage. Yeah. Right, 47. Oh yeah. Right. One of those gone. Oh. Here we go. What's my stats look like? Yeah. Green, white. Okay. There's my forests. Maybe the best deck is going to be the last deck. Let's see. Okay, let's just add in some white. Oh, we've done pretty much all the combinations here. Well, I say all of them, not all of them, but just... Hang on, did I just forget? I think I did. Yep. Just check that. Let's flip that. Into 7. Okay, playtest. There was a sliver there as well. I did put it in, so I didn't bother. But okay, 2-drop. What's that doing in there? I didn't ask for that to come in. I thought I took that out. Where did that sneak in from? Oh well, it's a 2-2 for 2. It's a bear. Hang on, what's going on? Things are getting seriously weird here. I now seem to have 24 creatures. I don't know what's happening to my count. How did that get back in again? Okay, so one drop. So maybe green white is better to play. Interesting. Okay, so I think I'm definitely going to stop here. We've done interesting combinations here. Nothing particularly strong, I think. Again, the problem is that, you know, we've got decks here that are fairly slow. This one, you know, I don't know if this is the better of all of them. I just obviously got heavily drawn towards playing spikes because it just seemed like a cool thing to do. I don't know how a good strategy that was. That certainly was where most of our creatures, you know, are tribal. If we're looking at it from a tribal perspective, you know, stuff lay. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. Stay tuned to next week when we'll move on to the next set in the block, which will be Exodus. So yeah, we'll move on to some Exodus. We'll do 6 packs of that, and when we do Exodus, then we'll go back again and I'll start doing all the combinations. So Tempest and Stronghold, Tempest, Exodus, and then Tempest, Exodus, Stronghold, and then a sort of bonus video would be, at this point we will do Tempest Remastered. I'm not going to wait until it was actually released. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye for now.